Hey guys, today I'm going to be working on my repair for my Insta 360x4. I don't know if you're aware, but during my snowboarding trip, some snow moisture residue got behind the lens, and when it dried, it left like a blur effect on the lens, which has to be cleaned from the inside. It cannot be cleaned from the outside. And the other day when I was doing my biking video, I dropped the camera and scratched the other side's lens bigger than shit. So today, I'm going to be learning how to replace the lenses in my Insta 360x4.
Believe it!
There's videos on YouTube, you put anything you put your mind to, and it was only like 40 bucks for the replacement lens, and the instructions seem pretty straightforward. So let's see if we can get on in there and make this happen for ourselves. Alrighty, so the first part of fixing the lens, replacing the lens rather, is getting this outer shell off, which according to the video I've watched, there's just, on this side without the screen, there's a layer of heat glue around the edge. And so you have to use a heat gun to basically make it liquid again, to make it unstuck, and then use the tool or like a very small screwdriver to pry it open, the outer case. So I'm gonna do that now. Always be very careful when you pull the heat gun. Wait, keep going. Alright, let's see if it's sufficiently heated up to be able to pry it. There we go. Just like that, the outer shell came off. Now, to continue the repair, there's several of these little screws on the inner side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 that have to be removed in order for this to complete. So let me put together this little screwdriver. This little screwdriver! This one looks about right. Screw it in here. Now I'll just go one by one, removing these little things. This one right here, that came out of this side screw to the bottom right of the lens, is a lot longer of a screw than the other screws. Just remember that the one long screw goes right in this little hole on the side beneath the camera. Yee! So now that we have the outer case off and this screws for the inner case removed, we're gonna wanna gently pry this up, because inside of this, there's gonna be 3 ribbon cables that we have to detach to access the camera and lens replacement. The first one is going to be the exterior LED that tells you when the camera's on and if it's filming or not, which is right here. The ribbon cable should be coming around the side, like right around here. So I'm just gonna get this open. Yep, just like that with this little prying tool. Just get under the lip there and gently just peel it up. Remember to go slow and steady. You don't want to mess with anything delicate and, you know, do more than you need to. So just gently lifting this up. So if we look inside here, you see this ribbon cable right there? It's got a little lever right in here that you have to flip to be able to release that ribbon cable and just gently pull it out. And I'll do that now. Ta-da!
Yes!
I flipped the ribbon cable and it came out nicely. Didn't know if you could see, but that switch now is toggled from the on. So I pushed it from down to up to free the ribbon cable. And that will just insert nicely back in there, which you will then latch back down when we're done. Continuing opening the case, we have 2 more ribbon cables to address. One is for the microphone, and one is for the cameras. This larger ribbon cable to the camera right here. This one. It just pulls straight in and out of this slot here. There's no switch, no flick, no locking mechanism, so you just gotta gently pull it up and it'll pop in and out. As to where the ribbon cable beneath it, this one right here, to the microphone, it does require you to flip a little switch, which is just in the back. Ta-da! And once the switch is flipped, you can just pull it out just like that. So this camera wire, this ribbon cable, just plugs straight into this slot right here, and this microphone cable, this yellow wire, you have to flick a switch right here. And just flick that switch up to release the hold on the lock and gently pull out the thing. And when you're done, we'll plug it back right in there and flick that switch down to lock it. So now comes the fun part, changing out the camera. So in order for me to get to the lens, to be able to either replace it or at least clean it from the inside, I have to take off these 4 screws that are attaching the camera and the lens to the case. And I'll do that now. Now that those screws are done, this camera just lifts right out of the front. See how it's got all like smudge marks on the inside and kind of like little scratches all over? That was from my snowboarding trip and from dropping my camera on the bike trail. So we're fixing it today. Alright, so now, here comes the fun part. In order to attach my new camera lens that I ordered, It's $40 on Amazon. Not bad considering if you take your camera to a camera replacement or camera repair store, they'll either tell you straight up no, they can't do it, which happened to me at You Break I Fix, or they'll tell you it's the price of the camera to do that work, and so, you know, a couple $100. And who's got that money laying around? Not me. So let's go ahead and do it ourselves. So in order for me to get into here, this lens is screwed on to this camera with this aluminum O-ring on top, which means I have to remove that. So first take off this rubber O-ring, and then you see here on the camera, around the border where this is screwed on, this should just twist off, but it's actually made in such a way that they put like a epoxy or like some kind of glue at the base of this, so you can't just twist it off. You actually have to either like get like something sharp and kind of destroy the glue bond, or you have to like chisel this out and physically pull off this old O-ring to replace it with your new one. So I'll do that now. Just give me a second. Alright, so I've brought the camera over here. As you can see, the lens is screwed on with this aluminum O-ring. And normally it should just screw on and off, but since this is how it came from the factory, there's an epoxy seal. It's almost like a concrete super glue layer at the bottom, preventing you from just screwing it off. They do that so that normal use of the camera, like jiggling and moving about, won't cause the lens to become loose and fall off. Unfortunately for us, it makes it a little harder to just screw on the new lens, screw off this lens and screw on the new one. But what we can do is, if you have a tool like a Dremel or like a metal file, we can just grind through this outer aluminum ring until it gets to the bearing, and then just, you know, the thread, and then just gently lift the old lens and O-ring out and off, and then we'll be able to easily screw on the new one. So I've got this Dremel here, and we'll see how it goes. Alright, as you can see, I can just now lift off this outer O-ring from the old lens, just like so. And now the old lens is free to come off. Ta-da! Now with that old lens and ring off, I'm free to install the brand new lens, which I brought right here. Got these lens wipes to make sure I keep everything clean. In case any debris got in the camera. this new lens fits right on top of the camera like so. And then you just gotta reinstall the screw-on aluminum ring that it comes with. We had to destroy the old one to remove it so that we could screw on the new one. It's okay if in the grinding process you, one sec, getting a phone call. Okay, as you can see, I drilled through the side and I was able to just kind of like pull off the old ring that was on there and remove the old lens that was all fucked up. So now I should be able to just screw back on my new lens. Putting the lens in place here. And placing the new O-ring that came with the replacement on top to be screwed back on. Now that's a shiny new lens with no problems in sight. Alright, time to screw back in these little screws. That my old messed up lens is now brand new. Now I've just got to put everything back together and it'll be like nothing ever happened. So I got to plug in the audio cable, which I flicked up that little switch down in there. Just gotta plug this in. Just flip up the switch, plug it in, flip down the switch. Now for the camera's power, it just plugs onto here. That back on. The last cable is that LED cable that we had turned on earlier. Let's give it a shot and see how it goes. And this guy has to go back in here, flip the switch up to unlock the attachment, and then plug it in and flip that switch down. Now all the wires are connected. The microphone, the camera, and the LED case light. Now in order to make sure I've done this right before I secure everything back, we're just going to topically turn on the camera and make sure that everything comes on as it should. it's a crystal clear image if I've ever seen one. Cool. And that's how you repair the lens on your 360. I ordered another replacement lens just to clean this other side, but it doesn't come till tomorrow, so we'll do. Alrighty, so my other replacement lens came in the mail. So now I'm gonna work on, I've replaced this camera, brand new lens, as you can see, shiny, polished, no scratches. Now I'm just gonna do the other one on the other side, because it has little scratches in it and some water residue that I got on the inside of the lens that makes it kind of blurry. So I'll be doing that now. Starting with, so this camera back here, on this side, with the screen, is attached with a ribbon cable and a microphone cable. And this one doesn't have a switch, this ribbon cable, so you can just pull it straight up like that, and you'll hear it click in and out when you did it correctly. So there's that. It's unplugged from the machine. It's just 4 little screws inside of here that have to come out so that I may lift the camera. This one actually doesn't even have the microphone attached. It just has the camera power cable, so that one's easy to take out. And as you can see, this one's got some blurry like water residue on the inside and some minor scratches, so I'm just gonna go ahead and replace it so that I can keep the image quality of my videos. But once again, the main trial of replacing this lens is the fact that when this comes from the factory, not only is it screwed on with this outer aluminum ring, but they put like a layer of epoxy like plastic glue. It almost cements it to the O-ring so that you can't just twist it off. We're actually gonna have to go in and grind down the plastic so that I can tweeze off this other aluminum ring to make room for the new one that comes with this. You'll see. We just want to get down just to where we can see the threading inside of this so that we can get this outer O-ring off to replace it with the new one. Shouldn't have to go too far, just enough to get through that outer ring. Alright, as you can see, I can just now lift off this outer O-ring from the old lens, just like so. And now the old lens is free to come off. Ta-da! And that's old. Now with that old lens and ring off, I'm free to install the brand new lens, which I brought right here. Got these lens wipes to make sure I keep everything clean. In case any debris got in the camera. this new lens fits right on top of the camera like so. And then you just gotta reinstall the screw-on aluminum ring that it comes with. We had to destroy the old one to remove it so that we could screw on the new one. It's okay if in the grinding process you, one sec, getting a phone call. So just like that, we've installed our brand new lens. No water residue, no cracks, nice and polished. And all I've got to do is get this back into the camera, and the camera will be as good as new. Stay tuned. Now it's back in there. Just gotta get the screws on and the ribbon cable plugged back in, and then case back on, boot it back up, and see how it all works. With that, the camera screws are all reinstalled. And just gotta plug that ribbon cable back in with a nice little click. Just like so. Just like that. Just a firm little press. You should hear a click to connect that ribbon cable back. So now I've got the microphone, the camera plugged in, the LED light plugged in. So, in theory, if I've done everything correctly, I should be able to just turn the camera on and see from both sides. Front camera, back camera. Hooray! Alright, now with both lenses replaced on each side and everything back plugged in as it should, I did a dry run turning the camera on to see that both sides of the camera work before I get the case screwed back in. Everything as it should be. So that's how to fix your lenses on Insta 360 x4. It works for the x3 as well. Just be careful with what you do and take your time, and you can do anything you put your mind to.
Believe
Thanks
it!
for watching.